Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. And of course, here's the meme of the day brought to you by 5mind.com. Well, at this point, I'll admit it may be kind of like a beating a dead horse kind of situation. But regardless, I think it's too important to ignore, and I'm going to keep saying it. I'm going to keep sounding the alarm bells, despite however many times I get called a Jewish or Israeli shill. And let me once again reiterate, this has nothing to do with Israel. I have very little interest in the topic of Israel and the Jewish religion. I'm not collecting $7,000 every time I release a video like this. No, I make them on my own volition because I just cannot continue to witness what I am seeing and have it all go unanswered. Just remain silent as I see what I believe to be the greatest existential threat to the Western world, and that is, in my view, the normalization of Islam. This la-di-da left-wing worldview that all religions and all cultures are made equal. No, my friends, I continue to staunchly believe that Islam has no place in the West. I believe it's actually antagonistic and antithetical to pretty much everything that we believe in, and yet people want you to just shut up and just let it all happen. Well, like I said, I won't shut up. I refuse to shut up. I've got another shocking video to show you guys, and then of course a rant to accompany. But before we get into any of it, this video is actually brought to you guys by a sponsor, so let's first play that clip. Look, I just want to keep it simple. Ground News, frankly, is the best news aggregator on the planet right now. And in my view, if you're really trying to get a bird's eye view of the whole political news cycle, then Ground News is one of the most important tools that you can have right now to navigate the ecosystem. They've got a great UI filled with all kinds of tools and all the news stories coming in real time. And my favorite tool is the blind spot tool, where I could see the extent of media blindness, the stuff the leftist mainstream media doesn't want you to see. Like this one, for instance. Hillary Clinton says migration went too far. Yeah, you know, just something they were calling you a fascist for in 2016. Now Hillary Clinton is calling for it to be fixed. I'd say that's an establishment Democrat admission of defeat, but would you look at that? 0% left coverage. It shows you where the blind spots are, quite literally, and that really scratches the surface as to all the tools they provide for every story. If you want to be informed, if you want to be at the cutting edge of information, you just gotta get Ground News. And so here's the pitch, friends. We've partnered up with Ground News to give you guys an exclusive offer. Simply scan the QR code on screen or click the link down below in the description. That'll take you to ground.news/hivemind, where you could get 40% off their Vantage plan. That's the top tier subscription, folks. It's a fantastic tool. Take a look. Thanks, Ground News. Now back to the video. All right, folks, so welcome to America in 2026.
Allahu Akbar.
Giving down. Yo, make some noise for the brother Warder right now, baby. MashaAllah, yeah. Takbir! Oh, don't scare them, brothers. Relax. They're over here on purpose to be like, oh my God. Who's seen those videos where they're like, oh my God, the Muslims are taking over New York City? You seen those? You seen those? Let them know that we are taking over New York City. Takbir!
Yeah, nothing to see here, right? Don't ask any questions, you bigot. You got an entire mob of Muslims taking over Times Square chanting Allah Akbar. Feels almost, making indirect references as Islam is here to stay and it's taking over. And once again, I'm watching this and I'm thinking, this is one of the biggest issues the nation is facing, the West faces as a whole. And yet, you don't really hear too many people talking about it, even on the right. Kind of what I was alluding to in the intro, right? Nowadays, if you even mention anything Islamic, well, automatically you're doing Israel's bidding. Well, personally, I don't like to live in these binaries. I don't like to let other people define me. We got to stop giving into that kind of rhetoric because this is a real problem. But of course, people will tell you, no, it's an irrelevant problem. They're just 1% of the population. And my response to that is, well, that's what they were saying in Europe 2 decades ago. And now look, across major European countries, we're looking at double-digit percentage populations, and even higher in the main cities. Look at France, look at Sweden, look at the UK, look at Germany. We're talking total replacement and actual invasion where native cultures are being pushed aside for Sharia zones and no-go zones. And I don't think it's hyperbole when I say this, that Islam is an ideological threat to the West. I don't think that's hyperbole. I think it's reality. I mean, take it to a macro view. You have to look beyond individuals. I know that's difficult, you know? People will say, well, I know one Muslim guy and he doesn't want Sharia for all. But in cases like this, when you're analyzing an ideology, you can't look at it on a case-by-case basis. You have to look at a macro view. The ideology of the religion itself is based on conquering, not coexisting. And we have the historical precedent to clearly show that that's the case. It's also written in the books. They say it themselves.
One day, America will become a Muslim state, a Muslim country. Really? Tell Trump.
That's never going to happen.
Yes, it will happen.
Never going to happen.
God is powerful. God is powerful.
Is that what everybody here wants? You want to see
That's what we are. Our goal is to make America Islam.
Really?
Islamic state. Yes.
Look.
God is powerful.
It's never going to happen.
You control the heart of Americans. God guides whom He wills.
America's going to be an Islamic place.
It will be one day.
Here's my question.
Yes.
Does
The promise of Allah. We believe that the believers will overcome the wicked ones.
Yet we've got these self-immolating frickin' leftists, this suicidal empathy that is destroying us. We live in a post-standards world. And when it comes to immigration, there are no standards, right? Cultural assimilation, we know, is key, but the left has totally gutted the notion. In fact, the standard for assimilation is so low these days that it appears many leftist activists don't even believe that foreigners should assimilate to speaking English anymore.
The NHS exists to provide the best possible care to patients. Now, some of those patients will feel more comfortable speaking in their native language.
I don't care.
Right?
I have no interest in that.
Well, fine.
They should speak English. They live in England, they should speak English.
It's an absolute disgrace. And what's crazy is they call this inclusion. No, it's exclusion. It's not a melting pot. It's non-homogeneous. The idea of a unified America, a unified West, doesn't exist anymore. No, what they want is fragmented societies, diluting common culture and language, and rather creating a fragmented display of totally incompatible cultures. I can't think of anything more destructive. And I wonder where the old standard went. I think Trump's Navy Undersecretary, Hung Cao, laid it out pretty clearly.
Gentlemen, we came to this country with nothing. We asked nothing from this country. And I always tell people, don't come to this country and ask for the American dream if you're not willing to obey the American laws and embrace the American culture. And together, we will make this America great again. Thank you so much.
Precisely. But for some reason, when it comes to Islam, I mean, we see what's happening. It goes beyond language. It's not just the lack of assimilation in terms of speaking the language. No, it's across the board. They want to live separately. They don't want to assimilate to the American way of life, but rather create their Sharia zones. And there seems to be this general undertone, this political goal of turning the country Islamic. Maybe not all Muslims, again, but enough to where it's a clear macro issue. It's anti-assimilation, and we need to wake up and realize what is happening here. This is an antagonistic force by definition, and we shouldn't accept it, not even for a second. At least, that's my opinion. Anyways, that's what I got for you guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.